Support for Entrepreneurs Enigma and the shows in the Marketing Podcast Network is provided by Active Campaign. If you're looking for a way to grow your business, you need to check out Active Campaign. It's a powerful marketing automation platform that can help you increase your sales, improve your customer service, and build stronger relationships with your customers. With Active Campaign, you can create and send email campaigns, manage your leads and customers, create landing pages, set up automated workflows, and track results, all on one approachable platform. Active Campaign has more than 10,000 five-star reviews on G2 from happy users. Preview Me is one. They're a B2B software company that uses Active Campaign to send their prospective customers highly visual and personalized emails as they progress through the CRM stages, such as completing a demo. This has increased their click-through rate 96%. If you're serious about growing your business, you've got to check out Active Campaign. Try it today for free and see how it can help you achieve your goals. Now, for a limited time, Active Campaign is offering you, the listeners of Entrepreneurs Enigma, a chance to double your contacts for free when you sign up at activecampaign.com/activate. That means if your email list is 10,000 contacts, you only need to pay for 5,000, or you can pay for 10,000 and get an extra 10,000 totally free. Personalize your customer experience. Do it with automation. Like the 185,000 businesses that have an Active Campaign. Go to activecampaign.com/activate to sign up today. activecampaign.com/activate. Terms and conditions apply. Entrepreneurs Enigma is a podcast for the ups and downs of entrepreneurship. It's got the wins and the fails that we all face being entrepreneurs, how we learn from adversity. Every week, I talk to a different entrepreneur with a story to tell. I'm Seth Goldstein. Come with me on the journey. This is Entrepreneurs Enigma. Let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of the Entrepreneurs Enigma podcast. I'm your host, as always, Seth. And today I am with Isabelle Kent, the CEO of Philly Startup Leaders. She's been in this startup ecosystem for a while now on her own, done different kinds of things, and now she's running one of the bigger startup incubator in Philadelphia. Hey Isabelle, how's it going?
Hey Seth, it's going so well. I'm such a summer person, and so I'm in my season. How are you?
Oh God, it's gonna be hot this summer though.
It is hot today.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna get hotter and hotter and hotter. We had no snow, so in Philly, so it's like I'm a little worried about the summer. It's gonna be a hot. It's already 90 today, and we're just in the beginning of June. So
yeah, it was like the first day of summer, and it's been 90 degrees since. So yeah,
like,
we're in
go big or go home, right?
That's right. Yeah, listen, we got to get used to the global warming, right? Got to flip our wardrobes.
Yeah, we don't have a choice in the matter. Exactly. We do have a choice. We can work on it, but I don't know how much we can change at this point. We'll leave it to the side there. But anyhow, Isabelle, welcome. We got you on.
Yay. It's been a journey.
It's been a journey, exactly. So
I'm glad to be here.
Exactly. So you've been in the startup and economic strategist for a while now. And then you came on PSL. It was right before the pandemic, right?
Oh, in the middle of the pandemic.
So jeez.
Yeah, wow. No. So let's see, February 2021. So
geez, you were like in the thick of it.
Oh yeah, no, I was like middle of lockdowns. We were doing this for a year. So when I came in, I had to decide whether we went to do Entrepreneur Expo, but of course it would be digital. And then when we finally got around to doing Entrepreneur Expo last year, it was when Philly went back into mask mandates. And it was like the 7 days leading up. And I was like, should we cancel? I don't know. And then they dropped the mandates and it worked out okay. But yeah.
Worst times through masks. It's not terrible, but it's like, it's hard to talk in those things. After
well,
3
and
years.
it's tough when you have like 1,000-person event, right? Because you're like, oh, definitely a super spreader. But luckily that didn't happen, and everyone was really good about social distancing and wearing masks. So it was good.
It helps when it's in Philadelphia. It's you know,
we do the right thing.
You do the right thing. Whereas I can't say so much about where I'm up just north of Philly, and it's questionable up here. It's questionable. So I'm gonna leave it at that. So So before Philly Startup Leaders, you were the chief strategist at Dedikova. I can't say it.
Yeah, Dedikova Consulting. So it's actually my original last name. So we changed our name when we moved over from Ukraine. It's a whole thing. But yeah, Dedikova Consulting.
I'm sure it's a lot longer. I mean, it's a Dedikova Wits or something like that.
Yes, when I do like the whole thing, it's like it's quite a lengthy name, but and now we have Isabelle Kent. There's a whole story behind that too, but we won't get into
Yeah.
that yet. But yeah, so I was a growth strategy consultant for Dedicova, which was my own consulting company. I was working on my own startup at the time for transitional talent too, but
Yeah.
obviously the pandemic was a tough time to start an HR startup.
A little bit,
So
yeah. A little bit, yeah.
it was wild. And I was mostly consulting in the HR tech industry, talent acquisition technologies, some robotics, like a random mishmash of companies. And so, yeah, it was a bit of a journey, but I was working mostly with Canadian companies, some in Europe, some across
Oh,
the US. And then before that, I was with Cision PR Newswire, Ronstadt Technologies here in Philadelphia.
Precision.
And
They own
yeah, and before
Harrow,
that with
don't
a no
they?
code
They own
platform.
Harrow now, don't they? Help a reporter out.
Yep. Yeah. It's the best kept secret if you're an emerging startup. Harrow is a great way to get in front of
It's a great
reporters.
one, but don't select too many of the newsletters because you will get overwhelmed.
Oh, it's
It's
like,
great, but choose selectively. Like choose
yeah.
a sector, go with that for a few months and change it. Don't do. I did them all, and I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Used to be like 4 times a day. My entire inbox was just like Haro requests. So I had to take a breather, but it is a great tool. And I got to say, I really love Decision Communication Cloud. I got to plug them. I think they're a great company.
Exactly. You had to go out. You had the itch. You had to go out on your own.
I did. That's the tough part, right? Once you work in startups, it's part of you. Like you feel it in your
Mm-hmm.
bones. And so I had to go back to something that was a little bit more fast moving, chaotic. Yeah, you give up the stability and the support structure, but it's really nice to be employee number one externally at a startup again and like go through all those challenges and create and break and mess up and fail
Yeah.
and start all over. And I just loved it. It really is an addiction for me, I think, to be in this environment. So
And now you're ahead of. Isn't it like the largest in the area, like out of New York, of startups and
yeah,
get-togethers? I mean, Starbucks is catching up slowly. Well, it's also we're talking about a city versus a county,
yeah.
that's disparate and stuff like that. I've left Philly startup leaders for a while now, and I've tried to get involved where I can, but it's tough when I'm out of the city. I can't just drop everything and get to an event very fast. It takes an hour. It takes me an
Yeah.
hour. I'm 20 miles. I'm an hour from the city.
Are you in
I'm 20
Conchi?
miles. What? No, I'm just north in Doylestown.
Oh, no way. So I grew up in Doylestown. So I have a
Oh,
very
small
near and dear
world.
thing to Bucks County. And that's why, like, they're actually a great partner of ours. Shout out to John
Yeah.
Mercer and
Oh,
Gwendolyn.
John
who
Mercer's
recently took over.
fantastic. I've
They're
known
the
John since.
best.
Oh, John's a nut. I love John.
Yeah.
He's a riot, and we
Kindred
can
spirit.
bash on John constantly, but he's awesome. I love John. But so
But yeah,
anyhow,
they do great work.
yeah. So now you're the CEO of Fully Startup Leaders. So what does that entail? Like besides ripping your hair out all the time trying to get things organized?
That's like 80% of my day, to be honest. And then the other 20 is mostly just consuming copious amounts of coffee. So,
Yeah.
that's part of the job. No, but, I started as executive director. I've been a member of this community, which is the largest early stage startup community
Yeah.
in the region. And so I started out 10 years ago, just didn't know anything about startups, fell into this world, really needed a place to go meet people and understand what was possible and like what this even was. And so fast forward to today, a lot of my day to day is really meeting with startup founders, giving one-on-one advice, very similar to how I would engage with them when I was consulting, help them
Yeah.
really break through that next milestone. A lot of that's usually around commercialization, validation, defining their audience, finding fundraising, and then some of these tactical business advice of just trying to find the right service providers or the right consultants or mentors that can help move them forward. So that's the bulk of what I do that touches the community. But a
That's
large part
all.
is also managing our ecosystem partnerships, putting
Yeah.
together programming, putting together events, getting involved in consulting projects,
Wow.
real estate stuff, all
Do
sorts
you
of stuff. So
sleep?
not enough, but
I know that
especially
sounds
now
kind of
this time of
busy.
year.
I mean, you also have a good team. So I mean,
Yeah,
shout out to your team. You have a good team, but still,
you're the best.
you're busy to say
I
the
have a
least.
lot of energy too, so it helps. This is like the best role for someone with like super critical ADHD because like you
Yeah.
just go. It's
You just
never the
go and
same
have
day
fun,
twice.
and exactly it's different all the time. We're gonna take a quick break, hear from our sponsors, and get right back to the show.
As a person with a very deep voice, I'm hired all the time for advertising campaigns. But a deep voice doesn't sell B2B, and advertising on the wrong platform doesn't sell B2B either. That's why if you're a B2B marketer, you should use LinkedIn ads. LinkedIn has the targeting capabilities to help you reach the world's largest professional audience. That's right, over 70 million decision makers all in one place. All the big wigs, then medium wigs, also small wigs who are on the path to becoming big wigs. Okay, that's enough about wigs. LinkedIn ads allows you to focus on getting your B2B message to the right people. So, does that mean you should use ads on LinkedIn instead of hiring me, the man with the deepest voice in the world? Yes. Yes, it does. Get started today and see why LinkedIn is the place to be to be. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Go to linkedin.com/MPN to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/MPN. Terms and conditions apply.
And it's exciting. So you've done the entrepreneur thing, you're doing the entrepreneur coaching thing more, I guess we'll kind of lump affiliate startup leaders into that. What is the best thing about being an entrepreneur and being the head of affiliate startup leaders?
Oh man, I think the potential is the best part of being an entrepreneur, right? Like you see the world as possibilities, and that's so cool because like literally all you do is see opportunities and try to move towards them, right? And try to solve problems. And I love that mental tinkering aspect. I think one of the challenges of being an entrepreneur is, of course, like it's not super stable. There's a lot more no's than there are yeses. And so you got to be like kind of a bit like masochistic in that sense, because like you're going to get beat up a lot, but at the same time, like that possibility really keeps you going. So it's like where you can be really fulfilled and passionate. And you don't always get that in other types of jobs. And being able to control your own destiny is great. Best thing about Philly startup leaders, the energy. Like this is the easiest community to work with in so many ways, because you go to our networking events and they're just bustling. They're not these like boring networking events where people are super transactional. People find their friends here. They find their co-founders. They share information. And so everyone's in this boat together. And for all 15 years that we've been around, like that's always been the case. That it's been a welcoming community.
It's only been 15 years. Wow.
Yeah, this September. Isn't that crazy?
15 years. Wow. It feels like it's been a lot longer than that.
Yeah.
So Affiliate Startup Leaders started when I started Goldstein Media in 2008.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So that's
well, you've been around the halls for a while, right?
Yeah, I've been around all over the place. So it's kind of one of those things. So been trying to get active, and it's just family and stuff like that. It's like, what am I going to do with my 10-year-old now? Like, now he can stay home, so I can actually
bring him.
He actually may have fun, but he is a nut. So go figure. So on the flip side, what keeps you up at night?
Oh God, so many things. So being a really small nonprofit, like we live on a ramen noodle budget. So like fundraising and finding the support, especially in this economic environment, like always overwhelmingly one of our largest challenges. But that's starting to change, and there's a lot more people like defrosting from the pandemic. So that gives me hope. And then also, I struggle with the fact that Philly sometimes can be 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And I think that we still have so much potential, and I hope that we move forward. And sometimes I like worry about that, but then I'll have an amazing meeting like the ones that I've had this week. And then that hope is restored, right? We meet new people that have that energy. They're moving things forward. And so, yeah, I mean, it's a challenging space, right? Like that's entrepreneurship. That's what it is. But at the same time, you meet these people that are like, yeah, I mean, you're going to be in the rapids. It's going to be tough, but it's going to be possible, and we're going to get there. And that's always incredible, right? Because nothing's a forever no.
No, exactly. And here's the question of the ages. Everyone, who's listening to the podcast knows this question. But what is the most important thing to carry with you all the time?
Hope.
I love that. No one
I
said
think you
that.
got to be hopeful.
No
like if you don't have hope and optimism, you could be a cynic and all these things, but if you don't have hope and optimism in this industry, especially, I mean, you're going to have a really rough time, and you're not going to last very long.
Oh, it's awesome. Surprisingly, no one said hope.
Really?
In 150 something episodes. I mean, people have come up with some pretty wild things, and people have also said their phone.
Wallet, keys, phone.
Seriously, people have also gone deep with why they chose their phone.
Yeah.
So I'm like, because that's not where I was going with that, but I'm like, wherever you want to go with it. But I like hope. I think that's my new favorite. So thank you. And then online, where do you hang out the most?
Hate to admit Instagram. Like I spend way too much time on Instagram. I finally cleansed my soul of Facebook. So slowly I'll move away from that. But I just like the fact that I can get news, that I can get travel inspiration, and I can you can really hack the algorithm to get the sort of information that you want in that moment. And I really do like that. I feel like I learn a lot. It's like those nuggets of knowledge, and then I have the opportunity to go dive deeper. And then sometimes you'll find me in the comments being a menace. But I find that helps you. If you're going to argue with someone, you really need to know what you're going to say on the internet. And so I I find that also gives me, these breadcrumbs that I could follow to learn more about certain topics like AI and things like that.
Yeah.
And it challenges you to be more of a critical thinker because, a lot of that's kind of clickbait, but as you dive deeper, you really get to be more informed. So lots of times I'm on Instagram, but also like PSL Connect. I'm on my email constantly. So
I gotta say, you're very accessible, which I love.
Yeah,
you're very accessible.
Call me,
you're not
me, all that.
Exactly, that's the best thing. And so people can find everything about Philly Startup Leaders at phillystartupleaders.org. You can also do .com. It redirects because I keep typing .com for some reason, and it keeps redirecting me. So I'm like, I'll eventually remember it's .org. phillystartupleaders.org. Connect.phillystartupleaders.org is their community over there. And there are some people still hanging out on Slack, shockingly.
Yeah, I got to say that. So the Slack is great, but during the pandemic, there was like a little bit of a leadership gap. And when we came in, we admittedly did not do a great job of maintaining it. And it just got inundated with bots. We are coming up with a strategy and sourcing volunteers to clean it up because like everyone's on Slack, right?
And everyone's still there. I mean,
it'll come back.
Ever since you moved to Connect, I'm like, is PSL still on Slack? And people are still in there. People are holding on for that for dear life. So
yeah. That's all right. We're going to clean it up. We're going to meet the community where it is. But the reason why we moved to PSL Connect is because we wanted a living archive of like all that information, startups, investors, tool suite discounts, job boards, all that. And we have an amazing back end partner with Ramen Life that provides all that.
Ramen Life. I love it. Yeah. You work on a ramen budget and you're using Ramen Life. Love that.
And I eat a lot of ramen.
There you go. You get some great ramen restaurants in Philly too. So there you go. Isabel, thank you for being on. And we will see everyone next time.
Sounds great. Thanks for having me, Seth. Talk to your audience soon.
That was a great show. If you're enjoying Entrepreneur's Enigma, please review us in the podcast directory of your choice. Every review helps other podcast listeners find our show. If you're looking for other podcasts in the marketing space, look no further than the Marketing Podcast Network at marketingpodcasts.net. Goldstein Media hopes you have enjoyed this episode. This podcast is one of the many great shows on the MPN Marketing Podcast Network.
You may know you're listening to this show along the Marketing Podcast Network, but did you know there are other great shows on MPN to help your business? Sean Swaim hosts a great podcast called SEO Last Week. Sean, tell us what these fine folks will get when they listen.
Anybody who listens to SEO Last Week will get all the updates of what's going on in the world of SEO in about 15-20 minutes or so that way you can stay up to date with what's going on Google without having to dig through 60 different blogs to do so.
That is super useful. Where can people subscribe?
Hey, we try to keep things simple. You can subscribe at Marketing Podcasts with that second S.net, or you could just search for SEO Last Week wherever you get your podcasts from.
You heard him, folks. Go subscribe. This podcast is heard along the Marketing Podcast Network. For more great marketing podcasts, visit marketingpodcasts.net.